Can't.
Welcome everybody to another session of Wisdom Talks and Meditation. I will be having the two and only Yogindra and Ananda Murti on, where we'll be doing spiritual mindset part 2. I know some of you have eagerly been looking forward to this. Sorry we couldn't join last week and do this, but we're here today. And we have Kirtan Lester that's joined us. It's Shakshi as she comes on. Radhe Sham is on. We have the other places. We have Being Yogi on. And we have the boys. So it's really good. And we have good internet, touch wood. So it's really good stuff. So well done. Well done. So welcome again. And it was fantastic when we spoke last time together. And I think, just in case anybody missed it, I'm going to just do a little recap of the first 6 that we talked about. And then we're going to go on to the next 6. Okay. So before that, how are you boys doing? How's your day?
It's been a very spiritually surcharged day.
Good.
It's been intense, but we're happy to be here.
Yeah, you guys, you're everywhere. It's really great. And thank you to everybody that's joining us today. We have about 340. Oh, it's going up. 350 of you on right now. Really great. So let's get straight into it. Last week or the week before, we did spiritual mindset part 1, part uno. Okay. And in that, we did 6 points that we need. And the first one was invest your time wisely. Don't be, when it comes to spiritual life, don't be that Sunday person where you just go on a Sunday, then the rest of the week you just do whatever else. That was the first one. The second thing was that we talked about is see the spirit soul in everybody. This is really important because when you start seeing the spirit soul in all, then we start to have compassion in our hearts. We start to sometimes let those type of things go that might nag us about someone, and we start focusing on the positives of those people. Then we also talked about that be nectar seekers. That was the third point. So, and what was that analogy you gave, brothers? It was a really nice analogy. Would you like to just mention that?
Yeah, you have to be like the bumblebee and not like the fly, and seek the nectar everywhere. The bumblebee always seeks the nectar.
And the fly does what?
Fly seeks the complete opposite. The poop.
That's it. So I think we use the word poo. So oh my God, 430 on one chat. Altogether, we've got 450 of you joining. Wow, we're looking forward to your comments and questions. This is fantastic. So there you go. Be the nectar seeker. This is really important. And then another one, avoid, and this is number 4, avoid envy. Praise those around you. Even if you're feeling they're making, and you're feeling, a bit in your heart, why can't I be that? You know what? Praise them. Fake it till you make it. And I on this point, I wanted to just say that Srila Prabhupada, who's our spiritual founder, and the reason we guys are here talking to you right now, he said, a snake can be charmed by herbs and mantra, but the man envious cannot be. Therefore, he's more dangerous than a snake. Mm-hmm. So this is really important that this aspect of envy is the biggest distraction into our spiritual growth mindset. So that's one. So that was the 4th. The 5th was intention. Do things with intention. Don't think about the activity. Think about your intention that you do the activity in. So therefore, try your best. Don't, whatever your best is, that's what you do. Measure against yourself. Don't measure against other people's milestones. And finally, we talked about the 6th one. What was it, guys? Can you remember it?
6th one. It starts with a D. Triple D, isn't it?
Triple D is later than that. So this one, you're right. But it's called aparad. Fault finding.
Yes.
Remember, you guys had it. Aparad. So aparad we talked about, and here what we did is talked about that. It's like that. What was that lovely analogy that was given about aparad, about the garden? Can you just elaborate on that?
So we spoke about it's like you're trying to grow all these beautiful plants in a beautiful garden, and all of a sudden you open the gates to a mad elephant that comes and smashes everything. So what is the point? We have to be very careful and guard against that mad elephant.
And
There
it
you
takes
go.
so long to grow anything, gardeners know it takes so long, and so you're really trying to grow this creeper, which is very delicate to begin with, and then it's taking so much of your time and energy, and then you let a mad elephant come and ruin it all. You have to start all over. So yeah, it's a good analogy.
Thank you so much. So now I want to basically the next one. We're going to go through 6 more. Okay. Can you hear me okay? Just checking. Yeah. Okay. So now when I was thinking about this, brothers, one thing that came to me, it's going to sound cliche, but it's something I feel that's really important if we want that spiritual growth mindset. And that is the saying, cleanliness is close to godliness. We need that aspect of cleanliness in our lives. Would you like to elaborate on that one?
Yeah, so cleanliness can be of 2 sorts. One, of course, the physical body cleanliness, and the more important one is the internal cleanliness. So internal cleanliness, it's actually to do with whatever you associate with throughout the day. So even what you're associating with in your mind, what are your thoughts like? What are you reading? What are you looking on Instagram? Or what are you watching with your eyes? So all these things, they affect your internal cleanliness. So we need to keep it clean inside and outside. So the inside cleanliness, we can keep it clean by having a spiritual practice. So spiritual practice, it washes away the dirt within our hearts itself. Chanting the holy name of Krishna, associating with Krishna through sound vibration, through reading Srimad Bhagavatam, which is non-different from Krishna himself, associating with devotees like Jagannatha Prabhu, like my brother. These things will keep your internal cleanliness. And then the external cleanliness, very simple. Take a bath.
Well, once a week. Take a bath once a week.
Well, like we've all noticed, when we take a bath, everyone feels fresh and refreshed and energized even, After a long day of hard work, many of my friends tell me they just take a nice hot bath and they just feel like regenerated, like there's energy. So we can see how cleanliness helps us be in a mindset that is conducive to spiritual practice. So it's very important. Both types of cleanliness is important. I suggest taking a bath as often as possible. It's very nice. It keeps the body clean, keeps the mind clean. But if you can do 1 time a day, that's very good. If you can do 2 times a day, even better.
So this is how important cleanliness is. See, sometimes our externals will reflected via how we're feeling inside. So if we can keep, number one, you heard about the bath, keep ourselves clean. And actually once a day minimum would be very good. And especially with COVID going on right now, I think this is even more important right now. We say about washing our hands, etc. So this is another thing. Even your environment, you heard the environment that we keep around us, be neat and organized and tidy. I know for a fact, actually, when myself, because sometimes, if you're doing some work or you're doing other things, then suddenly the office might get very messy. And I'll be honest, it's not always spick and span. But I've noticed the days when I've kept everything neat and organized or cleaned away, that I feel more productive. I feel more, should we say, more in Zen, more calmer. These are the type of things. Do people agree when your place is tidy? Do you feel more productive? Do you feel more relaxed? I see a thumbs up from Nidhi Yadav. Thank you, Nidhi. So what about on our lovely other channels? What does people feel? With cleanliness close to godliness. Let's see some comments coming through. We're getting quite a few. So Sadhu Sangha, yes, very good. Thank you. This is we're trying to do. VWSM1 says, I'm thankful. I was really hope, but I see them once at a live interview with you. My wish came true. Yes, my wishes come true too. Every week I'm getting very happy. So guys, WSM1 is just saying that. So this is a part, cleanliness close to godliness. It might sound simple, but it's these simple things that if we actually do regularly and actually with a consciousness of doing it, this is what will happen. Actually, this thing about mindfulness, it's like we have to be mindful all our times. When we're not in the mode of mindfulness, like we're not clean, we're not doing certain things, then we're in the mode of what we call ignorance or passion. So we have to be in the mode of goodness to really get this. So please, that's one thing here. Somebody said, it actually says, if you shout and then do your japa, so that's mantra meditation, you're less likely to fall asleep while doing it. There we go. So practical. Really liking that. Thank you so much, Itshakshi, for that point. And we've got, I'm just going to see if we've got some more. Organized place equals enhanced vibes. So Ashutosh, that's a good one. And thanks, Saya Mitra, for joining today as well. We've gained everyone coming on. This is fantastic. So, you know, I was thinking after this point of cleanliness is close to godliness, you talked about it. And some of you said about japa. You know, the next point that's really important. And by the way, these points we're saying, what I want you to do is make sure you jot them. And it's not that, okay, tomorrow I go to every single one of these. Well, I hope cleanliness is there for you. But I'm saying some of that we're saying, it doesn't mean that, okay, but make it in a type, like just like when you go to the gym or when you do something, you work those muscles, right? The brothers here know it. They're always working those muscles, right? And then the idea is you slowly train yourself, because we as individuals, it takes some time to make habits, actually 21 days to be precise. So take these notes and then see how you can implement them. Maybe we'll talk about that as well. So the second point for today, so number 8, you mentioned about sadhana. It's regularity. It's to have regularity in your day of how you do things. This again works in the mode of goodness. When we do things on the cuff, we're actually working on, again, the different modes, the lower modes. But when we actually plan our days and actually do it in that way, this is a sattvic style lifestyle. So this aspect of regularity, could you speak on that, brothers?
So back to the point, like, you know, I think we touched on it last time as well. If you're regular in anything you do, you get the results. You know, you put in the work, you get the results. So the same thing comes with spiritual life. Like we mentioned last time, you know, it's not that you just get gains when you go every Sunday to the gym, but you have to make it a regular practice. So similarly, spirituality has to be regular. Association has to be regular. Hearing and chanting have to be regular. There's an example given by Srila Prabhupada where if you have an iron rod and you put it in the fire, the iron rod takes on the qualities of the fire. It becomes very hot like the fire. So the minute you take the rod out of the fire, it becomes cool again. So the whole point of regularity is that you keep the rod in the fire, keep it hot, so it doesn't lose its momentum. It doesn't lose its new, its new
Quality.
Yeah, new qualities. Exactly. Thank you. So we need regularity is a must. You know, otherwise you will get nowhere. It's like dieting. You know, you diet for 1 week and you go back to your old habits. You're gonna lose any progress you made. So you have to be regular. Yeah, there's no way around it.
Fantastic. Yogi, by the way, I had a comment that I can hear. Can you turn down your mobile? The sound. One, yeah. Just
Is that better?
Is it better?
test. I know I can hear somewhere. I can hear quite loudly. I can see now. Thank you, Itshakshi. Thank you for.
We're not having someone coming into this edit.
Is it
Yes.
The sound usually comes into our ears.
Yeah, it should come into the ears usually. We'll sort this out in a second, everybody. I'm just trying to see the best way. Where is the sound coming from for you right now?
It's coming from the computer, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I would say is it connected somehow with on the headphones? So this is happening live, so that's why you're hearing second. So sorry, everyone. I'll try and speak a bit more quieter. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna try something.
Okay, you try it. Let's see if this works. Sadhana is also very important. So one thing I would say to everybody is that when we talk about regularity, it's a spiritual practice. Actually, I can hear myself quite loudly on the other one. Let's see if we can sort this out first, then we'll carry on, or we'll get the boys to do some kirtan while we wait. Let's just try.
Can you hear me? Check. Oh, you disconnected it? We'll check yours.
Okay.
No, mine I can't hear it for some reason.
Testing. Testing.
You know what? Wait 1 second.
Okay. So please, I want everyone to do, while we're waiting for this, tell us what you think the ninth one is today that we're going to talk about. So far, that's better. That's better now. Okay. Can you hear me, by the way, guys?
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, Itzakshi. Really appreciate this. See, I'm checking the messages coming through, and see, it's really appreciated. Okay. This aspect of regularity, in your day, your time is precious. Sometimes what happens, we waste time. But if we try to actually utilize it the best we can, this will also help our spiritual growth mindset. So we talked about cleanliness. Now we're talking about regularity. And here I'm going to speak about specifically spiritual practice and having that regular. So sadhana, we call it. Okay. So can you give some on this aspect of sadhana as well? Why this is so important for our spiritual growth mindset? That'd be really nice to hear.
Well, Prabhu, from what I've learned from studying Bhagavatam, Sutta Goswami, and the Transcendentalists, they always use the word nityam, constantly. We hear it over and over in so many verses. They always say nityam bhagavata sevaya, nityam, constantly. And for it to work, they say you have to do it all the time. Krishna says, man mana bhavamat bhakto, always remember me, never forget. So there's this thing of always. And the question comes, why? Why must we do it always? And the answer is given that the three modes of material nature are constantly acting on us. So because we're in this material sphere, we're always in this state, For instance, it's like a fish out of water. So the fish that is out of water needs to be inside the water for it to breathe. So while we're out of the water, we're in this material. If you have a little bit of water, then go back outside. A little bit of water, then go back outside. You're still going to be suffering, and you can't really concentrate. You can't fully immerse yourself in bhakti yoga, which is necessary, which is absolutely necessary for spiritual advancement, which is what you're talking about, Jagannatha. You're saying, how do we make sure we're advancing, we're progressing on this path of bhakti yoga, of this practice? Because it is a practice. It's very hard. Like all of us know from personal experience, chanting, doing mantra meditation by ourselves on our beads, just really focusing on each mantra. It's so hard to do that because the mind is actually faster than the wind. We can't even catch the wind, what to speak of our mind. So this spiritual practice is very hard. It's like a fish out of water. So in order for the fish to be able to breathe again, it has to be back inside the water. And the only way it's inside the water is when it's in touch with its spiritual nature. And that can only happen when you're in touch with Krishna. Because when you're in touch with Krishna, you're in touch with your original self. And you can be protected from the modes of material nature. Because Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita that this material nature cannot be conquered. That's how powerful it is. You can't conquer this material sphere. The three modes are going to affect you always. But the only way to get out of that, the only way to be in the water is to surrender to Krishna. Surrender to the process, the practice, the sadhana of bhakti yoga. So you need to do that constantly in order to always be in the water and be able to breathe. Otherwise, you're constantly flipping out like a fish. You're flipping out of the water, back in the water, then flipping out again. How are you going to live like that? That's why nityam, constantly. If you really want to see the effect of bhakti yoga, you gotta do it constantly.
Oh, bless. By the way, our brother Vishwamba, as you were talking, commented. He's so sweet. Look at him. By the way, everyone, he's our brother. Just these guys are so cute. I can't pay attention to what they're saying because they're just so beautiful. Isn't he nice?
We love you,
That
Vish.
is-
Love you, Vish.
Yeah, we love you, Vish. You're absolutely amazing. You know, thank you for joining us today as well. But your points, what you just made, are so important. I heard one person saying consistency. And on this aspect of consistency, we talk about this regularity. Now it takes 21 days, I mentioned to everybody, to build a habit. So if we want to do something consistent, do it for 21 days, and then it will become an habit, and then you'll carry on. And I want anybody in 3 weeks' time or 21 days' time to just try something now. Think of something, and I'll give you some examples. So one thing is, you know, keep your room clean. I'm talking to myself too. Keep your room clean for the next 21 days. Think in your mindset that it's going to be clean. Secondly, you just heard about, you know, constantly chanting. Well, try this. Maybe in the morning, because the modes are also very powerful and depending on the time of the day. But in the morning, I won't say what time in the morning. I'll just say in the morning. In the morning, try to do some meditation. If it's mantra meditation or meditation, do it in the morning. And do that at a regular time every day. So if it's you used to get up at let's say 6 o'clock, get up at 5:40. If you get up at 9 o'clock, get up at 8:30. Do that little extra and keep that regular for 21 days. Okay, this is going to help grow your spiritual growth mindset. It will definitely help. So these are just some examples. And those that want to do mantra meditation, I think that's another thing. If you want to take, and it takes about 5 to 7 minutes, and you can try it. Like we do the Hare Krishna mantra, but if you have another mantra, that's up to you. But what I would say is that maybe in that meditation, you can do Hare Krishna mantra meditation for 5 minutes at least. And the way it goes, guys, how does it go?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So that is just one round. Just do that. You know, if you've got some beads, great. If you don't, just put a timer on and do it for 5 minutes at least. And then really focus very attentively on that every day. So I like to know if anybody's going to take that up. Anybody. Just say, yes, we're going to do it. And this is what I'm going to try and do, especially in this month. I'll try. I'm there as well. We'll do it. So I get some smiles coming. I'm taking smiles as people saying they're going to try it. Remember, this is a spiritual month. This month is very potent. Any little spiritual activity you do is multiplied by 1,000 times. Saya Amrita, thank you so much. Yes, she said, I've started. And we got Keshava saying yes. Priyanka saying yes. Deepika Naga saying yes. Itshakshi says yes. We got Mehek saying yes. Crystal, you do more than 5. Well done. Then we got Keep Gratitude Journal. Yes, you're taking away my thunder there, Mr. Yogita. That's the one. That's one of them. Okay, everyone's saying yes. I'm gonna be checking these out afterwards. And also, we've got here a lot of people. Let me just put some people that saying yes. So everybody, you've got to become accountable. That's why I said your names. So I'm just going to go to some places. We've got Hemavati saying yes. Vishwamba says me. Hitesh says yes. We've got Varun saying yes. We've got Shashi saying yes. Anupam says yes, I'm going to try. Let's do it. And then we got Monica as well. And then I've got Arprita, thank you. Hina, yes. Mehdi, yes. Amrita, yes. Christopher, yes. Anupam saying, thanks for informing me. Nirmal says, yes. My God, I'm going to put everyone's names as we go on. I'm going to remember that later. Oh, wow. Amazing. So I want to see if everybody's listening. What was today's first factor that we talked about to help us grow, us to have that spiritual growth mindset? Comment in the comments box, please. Hey, my mum's just said yes as well. Neela Patel, thank you so much, Mum. So glad you're on. So it's always good when the family joins. You feel like, okay, yeah, they're on. Yeah. Okay, what was the first one, guys, that we just talked about? Everybody just say, what was it?
Do you want us to say it?
Well, I think everyone's, come on, let's see if somebody says it in here. Nityam is not the one. Consistency, close. Question, brother. Okay, we will go into about the sadhana. Consistency, Nityam. Okay, it was, remember, I'm not sure. Is it consistency? No, not consistency. It was a C. It started with a C. And then an L. What is it? Oh, there we go. Hemavati got it first. Cleanliness next to godliness. That was the first. The second one we talked about. It starts with an R. Regularity. Yes, Tanvi,
Excellent.
you're on it.
Wow.
Excellent. Okay, so we got cleanliness. We got regularity. The next one I'm going to say, which is really important, respect. Okay, no, not respect, but respect. All right, I'll break it down. I was doing a talk recently, just to another group, like a corporate group, and I coined it as a respect model. This is coming from the Shastras. It's not something I have just made up. I made that name, but actually what I'm going to talk about is something that comes, it's in the Bhagavad Gita, it's in the Nectar of Instruction. It's something that is very clear in the way we be with others. And so this respect model, brothers, even Sachinanda Maharaj talks about it a lot. And it's the aspect of how we have relationships with different types of people. Can you remember this one? So we have at the bottom, the middle, and the top. Now, the way this respect model works is if you have this, if you use this, this will really help your spiritual growth mindset. So I hope everyone's listening. If you know it, just put a thumbs up. So the first one is that on this space, you are in the middle here. This is you. Okay. So your people that if there's others that are on your level in terms of spirituality, in terms of you feel like you can be open with them, etc. Like I'm talking to my brothers here, like Vish, like we're speaking, you know, we feel like we are friends. So with these type of people, you make friendship. Okay. So everybody's your friend. But what you got to remember is those that you feel inspired by, those that you can be open with, those that you can talk to. That's the type of respect you have. You have a respect of friendship. You become friends with them. They're your peers. They're the ones that you can talk to them about anything. Hey, my room's a mess. What shall I do? Oh man, my chanting was really, really, really bad yesterday. I just was thinking about, I was thinking about TV, whatever it is. These are the people that you can talk and be so open with. You can pour your heart out to them and you can just be yourself. Okay. This is the first thing. So remember, there's 3 levels. This is the middle level. Then this is why the respect model is really important. Below that, these are the people. Now, say you've been in a spiritual movement for a year. Somebody's just joined, you know, and they are new. What do you do? What do you do? They just come new. Guys, brothers, what do we do?
Nurture them, guide them, take care of them.
So you,
yeah.
There you go. So these people, you show compassion, love, nurture, maybe even sometimes more than friends. With friends, you can chill out, you can be, but you be a bit more compassionate with them. They're not going to know all the answers. You know, this is not about us. You welcome them. It's actually said, yes. You do it in a way of compassion and love. Like when you have a younger brother, you want to show them, you want to nurture them. You don't fight with them, right? You nurture them. You guys should know. You nurture them. You look after them. And when they go wrong, you lovingly show them the way. So it helps them to grow as well. Okay. So these ones you make friends. with those that may be, should we say, not there spiritually yet or on the spiritual journey, you become compassionate, you help them, you educate them, you love them, you just be that type of person that is a older brother or older sister, right? Okay, so what about the people that are really superior? Now, like we just talked about Srila Prabhupada, the gurus, those people, those that have been practicing Krishna consciousness for many, many years, and you can see they're elevated souls, or in your spiritual movement. What do they do with the people above, if you don't mind?
So if we're looking at people above us, we take shelter, we take guidance, we try and serve them. So that's what we can do when someone is above us.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, and Kunjita said, yeah, keep your ego aside. See this this respect model, now it's coming, I hope it's coming clear. Above us, we serve, we get guidance from them, we take shelter from their words to help us to grow ourselves. So here I've got friends, they're keeping me going, and so I get inspired by them to take it to the next level. I get guidance from gurus, spiritual teachers. They will help to elevate my consciousness. And then below, we're helping those that are still new to the journey, that need our help. This way, we're creating a respect model. That's why I coined it respect model, if that makes sense, because that's what we're trying to do. Some comments on this, brothers, on this model. Does that make true? Is there some examples you've got that just to bring it to life for those listening in?
It's such an important model actually to follow, because all we look for is relationships. Actually, the only thing that satisfies us is relationships. Nothing else will satisfy you, be it your career or fame or money. We try and delve deep into making money, trying to think we're going to get satisfied. But guess what? It's going to lead you in an even darker hole of unsatisfiedness, if that's a word. And it doesn't fill you up. You might try and become the best, most famous person in whatever field you're doing. It will not fill you up. The only thing which will actually truly satisfy you is relationships. Now, here's the but. Material relationships don't last forever. So then what relationship lasts forever? And that's why relationships with devotees, it takes it to the next level, because it's past these material designations. It's not anymore about, you're my mom, or you're my dad, you're my brother, you're my wife, but it becomes, you're a servant of God, you're a servant of Krishna, and I'm a servant of Krishna, and I can help you, and you can help me. And then based on where you are with them, if you guys are like, for example, husband and wife, then you're like friends, you help each other. If then you have a relationship with your teacher, and because he's above you, he's your senior, you take guidance from him, and you take advice, and you take learning from him. And if it's someone lower than you, your younger brother, or let's say siblings, or friends that you're newly cultivating, you can give them guidance and help them and share with them what you take from the seniors. So it's a beautiful chain of love and reciprocation. It's the best, because Krishna's in the center. We don't need anything else to satisfy us. So that in itself, Prabhu, it's nectar. That's all we need. We need to learn how to have nourishing, caring relationships.
There we go. Respect model. Okay, please remember that. It's just the way I remember it, and it's the way that helps me. So if that triggers something for you, please try to. It's a family, it's actually saying. Deepika is saying, wow. Crystal, always inspired by all. I have so much to learn. We all do, Crystal. This is why we have this Sanghas. This is why we're getting together. And Kunjita says, I absolutely second that, Ananda. Okay, so we've had cleanliness, close to godliness. We've had regularity. We talked about the respect model, right? So that was number 9. Number 10, somebody mentioned it earlier. Journaling is so important. I have a spiritual mentor, and he has been journaling, I think it's the last 15, 20 years. And if you see his, I can say it now, it's Sutapapu, you know, he journals, and he sometimes looks back at what he did 5 years ago, because it's so good. Number one, to be so conscious in the day. Like here, everybody, when we're doing dieting, we're doing whatever, we start to journal. This is what I eat and this is what I've done. But how much do we journal what we did spiritually? What did that feel like? What happened? What was the conclusion? And make that type of journal so we remember what the day was. We're talking about the food aspect and all this type of journaling, but what about the day? You know, what did we put in that made us increase our spiritual growth mindset? So that's that type of journaling I'm talking about. Any thoughts on journaling, brothers?
No, actually, you just reminded me, Sachinanda Swami talks a lot about this making sankalpas, making resolutions. And, in fact, it's basically self-reflection. And it's really important at the end of each day to ask yourself before you go to bed, how much did I think of Krishna today? And how much did I get closer to him today? It's such a good reflection, ever since I heard Maharaj speak it at a beautiful summer camp in Switzerland, I always applied in my life. And me and my brother, actually, before we go to bed, we sometimes just make sure we do a little bit of Krishna Katha, and we recap the day and say, okay, today I chanted my rounds, we talked about Bhagavatam, we did some kirtan. Hey, guess what, bro? We achieved perfection today. Our day was perfect. Done. Let's start again tomorrow. Let's perfect our day just by chanting Hare Krishna, just by speaking Krishna Katha, by sharing Krishna with some other person that is not a devotee, for example. Just sharing and reminding them that they are devotees. They've just forgotten it. So, these are small little points that you can always reflect on. How much closer did I get to Krishna today? So reflecting is such a beautiful, making these sankalpas and resolutions is so powerful, actually.
Wow. Can I ask a question? Because Crystal's asking the question. Crystal 108, thank you. Where do we begin with journaling? Where can they begin with journaling?
When you were talking about journaling, and maybe this will answer your question, Crystal, the number one thing that came to my mind was that it is a dialogue. And when you journal, people can say dear diary. People can say, to myself. Who are you journaling to? So sometimes when you're journaling, you can journal to Krishna. Dear Krishna, today I did this, today I did that. And that starts a dialogue. See, we often forget that Krishna, he is God, but he's also the supreme person. So he's a person as well. And if you have a relationship with someone, you need to talk to them. You need to hear what they also have to say. So journaling can be your entry point to a dialogue with Krishna. And it's so personal, isn't it? Journaling is so personal. We all know how everyone tries to hide their diaries because, it's like an entry point to someone's mind, to someone's thoughts, to someone's heart. So start journaling to Krishna. Say, dear Krishna, today I felt like you were really present, and I'm really serious about this relationship that I'm restarting with you, and I'm excited. And some days can be heavy. Some days can say, Krishna, why didn't you help me? I wanted your help. I needed your help. Did I do something wrong? So start journaling as a dialogue with Krishna, an internal personal dialogue with Krishna. Dear Krishna, etc., etc., etc. And yeah, you're right. Bhakti Tirtha Swami was journaling letters to Srila Prabhupada without sending. That's correct. So good job. Yeah, you can journal to your spiritual master. Why not? Your spiritual master is the representation of Krishna in your life. So yes, write to your gurus, write to your spiritual mentors, write to Krishna. Have a relationship with Krishna. That's what this is all about. Like my brother was saying, we're looking for a relationship. We're trying to fill the gaping hole in our heart. And Sachinanda Swami tells us that gaping hole is actually that missing feeling we have because we have an internal relationship with Krishna that we've forgotten. So we're trying to fill it up with other relationships. We're trying to fill it up with maybe movies, maybe fame, maybe wealth, maybe beauty. We're trying to fill it up with stuff. but it can't be filled up with stuff, my dear friends. It can only be filled up with your relationship with Krishna. So, dear Crystal, everybody, including myself, let's journal. Let's have a dialogue with Sri Krishna. And when you write it on paper, it becomes more real.
Yeah.
I'm doing a fitness course right now in my university. And in that fitness course, even the fitness experts say when you write down your goal, you're more likely. There's a percentage. There's like a 70% more chance of you actually fulfilling that goal. So if you write down, Krishna, like he said, Sankalpa, Krishna, I'm going to chant 17 rounds every day. And I'm going to try and increase my concentration level, by 25%. Like you can be mathematical if you need to. I'm going to read 5 verses every day. I'm going to hear 10 minutes of Srila Prabhupada talking about Krishna consciousness every day. So these small things, if you just write it down, if you start your dialogue with Krishna, that will help you.
Fantastic. Just start that dialogue with Krishna and that will help you. I love your points. Thank you so much for sharing. And one person, Monica Joshi, says, this just brought tears of joy, having a conversation with Krishna. So there we go. And Deepika, I want to set a shout out to you. She said, I started doing it since last 2 months, since when I'm listening Radha Deshmelo Kirtans. So the Kirtans helped her to chant. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Hey, this is the point. We have Pankajanri Das as well, who says, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna to you too. And let's go on. I'm looking at time. My God. By the way, we got to have a part 3. There's so many points on this, but I'm going to just recap. Okay. Maybe we'll do one more and then we will get some kirtans in because I know everybody wants their kirtans and I do too. So we talked about cleanliness is close to godliness. We talked about regularity, which is very important. We talked about the respect model. And we talked about journaling. Okay. So, journaling. So on this point, I want to go on to the last one for today. Okay. I'm going to say that we need to create this mood of selflessness. Keep our ego behind. It's, the idea here is when we start putting ourselves first, it really breaks that chain of spiritual growth mindset, because the aspect of spirituality is that we see everyone as spirit souls. So we have to try and develop that type of aspect of selflessness. If the world leaders that we have today had this real ability to serve, have this servant leadership mentality, that they serve everybody, that they want to make sure somebody's more happier than them, then what type of amazing world would we be living in? Right now, I know that there's going on, USA are having, and those from the USA right now, our prayers are with you. We're praying for a good outcome for you. It's like that. When the leaders are more or less selfish in wanting I, but think about others. So I want this aspect for everybody. In a day, all I want you to do is once a day, wholeheartedly think about somebody else. Maybe it's your family right now, especially right now with COVID going on, and do something that will bring them joy. It might be something you don't like. It can be as simple as your mother or father likes to play chess and you hate it. It's like you get so bored from it, but you know how much joy it gives them to do it, right? Little things like that. I want just consciously think something, okay, today I'm going to do this for this person. It might be a text message that you write to somebody or a voice note you leave to say, hey, I was thinking of you today. It's been a long time since I thought about you, etc. Even though you might not have a big relationship with them, you're doing it to make them happy. Does that get the point?
Yeah, totally.
Any points on that, brothers, that you could add?
It's so beautiful, Jagannatha Prabhu, what you said. It's so perfect. I don't know if I have anything to add to it. It's just so perfect what you just said. that you should do something selfless. You know, when you were saying that, what came to my mind immediately was my parents. See, more often than not, my parents, I remember when I was a young child, that whatever I wanted, they would do. They'd put down whatever they were doing to do what I wanted. But I noticed, I caught myself, and I'm grateful to Krishna that I caught myself doing this. Like my father, he loves to walk, and sometimes he asks me, Yogi, can we go for a walk? And then I'd say, like, Papa, I'm busy. I have to do so many things. I have assignments. I have work, you know. But then 5 minutes later, immediately I started feeling bad in my heart, and I said, what's this? What's the source of this pain? And then I understood, you know, let's go for a walk. Let's please my father. He dropped everything. He used to do anything and everything for me. He used to do anything and everything, work, you know, overtime if it was necessary, just so that I could do extracurricular activities after school and pay for it all. The most selfless type of love in this world, even in the material world, is the love of a parent to his child. That's one of the most selfless types of love. So like Jagannath Prabhu said very aptly, that, you know, maybe we hate chess, but our father or grandfather loves chess. So doing that activity for the pleasure of your fathers, grandfathers, it'll give you so much more joy than doing whatever you thought you wanted to do. So it's so fulfilling. Selfless activity is so fulfilling that it'll actually make you feel better about who you are and make you feel better in general.
You know, when Yogi, you were talking, it just reminded me that you know, one of the most selfless acts you can do is actually to remind people of who they really are and share Krishna with them, to the extent that Krishna himself does it. He comes down as Lord Chaitanya just to share with others about Krishna, which is technically himself. So the most rewarding experience is actually living a life of service to your beloved, to your loved ones, to society, because in the end of the day, happiness comes by giving, not by taking. You know, you only become a miser when you take. The minute you start learning to give and serve others, that's the minute your heart actually opens up and you receive that divine love, you know, blessings from other people. So the goal of life, just serve. You know, in Bhagavatam, everywhere, all the saints, they're always known as Paradukha Dukhi, the ones that, you know, see other people's sufferings and make it their own suffering. They want to live for others. We have the Dichi Muni. He gave his bones up just so that Indra could protect himself from Vritrasura. Then we have, you know, other saint, Lord Shiva. Yeah. He's living peacefully, he's happy, but he comes down and drinks the poison from the ocean just so that everyone else doesn't suffer. So you see, saints don't live for themselves. Why are they so self-content? Why are they so happy? You know, we have our saints in our movement, like His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, His Holiness Indradyumna Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Bringa Govinda Maharaj. I've noticed whenever we're around them, they're so peaceful. They're so satisfied because they live for others. They live to serve. They don't live to take, you know. They only want to give others real happiness. So it's something we can learn to live by and aspire for. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. And I wanted to bring that point up because right now, this COVID situation, some places going back into lockdown. When it happened in summer, here, UK summer, everyone is okay. The sun is shining. Now it's getting dark. It's a dark winter. So I want everybody on this call, please, just do something for somebody else. It might be a phone call. It might be a video call. See how they are. Put your ego behind, you know, reach out to somebody every day, one person. It just has to be even a text message. It has to be something. It can be just playing that game of chess. You just said, taking that walk that you just heard. This will help our spiritual growth mindset. I'm saying this to you because this is helping to train us to put our ego behind us and to put others first. If we do this, that's why in our names we have Das at the end when we get initiated. We're the servant of the servant. It's always, remember, what's the most important part? It's the DAS at the end. Well, regardless, it's the Das part. So please try it. Let's do it. Let's make this world better. These are practical points that will help you. So these are 5 we talked about today. First was cleanliness. Second was regularity. Third was the respect model. Fourth was journaling. And fifth, ego behind. Okay, so these are the 5 for today. We've got more. I think we'll have a part 3. We have to have a part 3. It might be in 2 weeks because we got a few things, but we will be having a part 3 on this because it's be so important. So if today you have liked what you heard, you know, and you want to be part of this consciousness tribe that we are trying to create with my brothers here, then I would say follow them. Okay, the way you do that is check on Instagram. You're here right now on Instagram. What you do, and I'm just putting it on for the other side so everybody knows, is Ananda Murti, who you can see, who spoke so beautifully today. Ananda meaning happiness. ANANDAMURT with 2 I's is his handle. And then we've got our little brother Yogi, who Yogi, being Yogi. So his is being Yogi, BEING YOG with 3 I's. You cannot miss it. So check them out. Message them, talk to them. They're a friendly bunch, both of them. And also, if you want to speak to me as well, connect with me. I try to get back to everybody that does message. If you have a question, if you're feeling something, especially in this time right now, please reach out. We are here. So it's Jagannatha. So it's JAGANNATHA_DASA. That's my Instagram handle. So join me there, everybody, and join all 3 of us. And I want to just say that's the main part today. That's important. That last one, put our ego behind. You know, put others first. And on that basis, this is what will help with some mantra meditation, just to have a reflection on these points that we've had today. So while the boys are actually doing this, just really think about these 5 points and try and see if you can say, oh, divine, whatever you call the divine. We may call it Krishna. We might call it by some other name. That's fine. But just reach out and say, please help me with these 5 points today to imbibe in my life. Here we go. The Kirtan's coming. It Sakshi says, oh, wait, Kirtan. Yes, Ananda Murti Prabhu has 2 eyes, yes. Yes, he's got 2 eyes, but we're talking about his name with I.
Hare Krishna.
So we have 5 minutes, brothers, unfortunately. 5 minutes.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Jai Hari Ram Sankirtan Ki Jai.
Thank you so much. What a lovely way to finish the session. And before we finish, thank you so much, my brothers, for another great session. I know we had some internet issues today. We were so good. We were flying. Even though sound was there coming and going, it sorted out. So, and thanks Itshakshi for commenting and letting us know about the sound. That was really appreciated. Guys, we're going to be doing a part 3, so watch out. It'll be in 2 weeks' time, because next Tuesday, I have Krishna Loka Creations on. The person that does those amazing artworks, they're phenomenal. So check her out, krishnaloka.creations. Check her out, what she does, and let's meet up next week where you'll see that. And on Thursday, I'll be speaking to Achyuta Gopi for Power of Prayer. And I'll be back with these two brothers here in 2 weeks' time, Tuesday, where we'll be doing Spiritual Growth Mindset Part 3. Part 3! That's all I say. On that basis, thank you. Everyone, stay safe, and Hare Krishna to all of you, and God bless. Take care. Hare Krishna.